Welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends from three different states drink alone together, except not this time because two of them are in the same house. I'm Obert.
I'm Chris. Oh, shit.
And I'm Todd.
So I'm not in Connecticut. I'm in Montana. I'm like Chris and Todd.
Yeah, so I think we probably should talk about that.
I'm surprised. I'm in Connecticut.
Surprise, the call is coming from inside the house.
Oh no.
So, yeah, as mentioned on the last few episodes, I made my trek to Connecticut today, and I'm actually recording inside Todd's house. He didn't even invite me in. I just was like sneaking in, and now I'm recording in his house. So
I don't even know where he is.
His fault for leaving the back door unlocked. So
yeah, because Lord only knows he doesn't leave the front door unlocked ever.
that's very true.
So many times.
Listen, I don't want any creepy people walking in my house. Like now there's a bear walking around in here, and he brought his
I'm
brought
glad we
his
told
cub.
the entire world too that he keeps his door locked at all times too. So that's good.
Yeah.
Good home
so
security
don't even
right
try
there.
to rob him. Unless
Yeah.
you use the back door, of course, because that's always
Right.
someone.
Yeah. A literal backdoor flaw.
Anyways, what have you guys been up to this week?
So I, as you both know, but nobody else does, I just got back from New Orleans.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
go
How
there
many
for
beads
work.
did you get and/or throw?
So I showed my boobs once, and I got one set of beads.
Okay.
I didn't throw any, but I had a whole bunch
Well,
of
you
beads
gotta hang
tossed
on
at
to
me.
them.
I only caught,
Okay.
I only caught one set because I was drunk, and that's what happens
Right.
when you try to catch three different things at once. You only end up catching one of them.
Legally, you can only wear the ones that land in your hands.
Is that the law?
Right. Yeah. You can't pick them up off the ground.
It's the law of the beads.
I will tell you this: the one thing down there that I really like, you can take beers to go.
That's nice.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd enjoy.
Walking down Bourbon Street, you can be carrying around a beer. I mean, that's part of the reason why the road smells like piss and vomit, but it's fun.
Well, that's always good. I mean,
How many drinks to go did you get?
Pretty much every bar that I left and I was going to another bar, I would get drinks to go. So over the course of 2 days, I'm going to say probably 10 to-go beers.
that's a lot of
Nice.
to-go beers.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of different bars. You end up doing a lot of bar hopping because every bar has their own unique attraction to it. It's like being a goldfish. Your attention's only held for so long in a bar before you're like, what's the other bar have? Plus, there's streetwalkers and entertainment and, anything. I mean, Bourbon Street's just a whole bunch of debauchery, 24/7.
Can you explain this concept
Like,
of a
so
streetwalker
when you
to
say
me?
streetwalkers, do you mean the zombies or no?
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, clearly. That's when you think of Louisiana, you think of zombies.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to clarify. Everybody thought zombies, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you were going to say, did I mean hookers? And I was going to say probably, but I didn't see any.
Oh, no. Definitely not hookers. Oh, like positive zombies, though. Okay. Makes sense.
The beer scene's pretty good down there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're coming along pretty well. Abita's their biggest brewery, but there's a lot of smaller ones. They even had some good New England style IPAs.
Oh, I've had
Oh,
some
I didn't know they were
Abita.
from New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that purple haze, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They had. That's the only one I had known beforehand, but after this weekend, I know a lot more by them.
Oh, nice.
What's
That's
their
pretty good.
IPA called?
Well, the Purple Haze is an IPA, I believe.
Oh, okay. That must be the one I'm thinking of.
Their other beer was like No Limits or something like that. It might even just been No Limits, but I believe it was No Limits. My favorite beer from down there was a New England IPA as well, but it wasn't by them. It was by True Lock or something like that. Give me 1 second. I'll let you know.
In the meantime, so did you say you were down there for work?
I was.
Okay. And yet you still managed to get 10 to-go drinks.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I wish someone would pay me to go there for work.
You're
With
at,
air
right?
quotes. Good for podcast.
That's good because I couldn't hear the air quotes before you explicitly told me that you were doing air quotes. So.
So the two beers I really liked down there was one called Jucifer by Gnarly Barley Brewing,
I like the name of the brewery.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
and Ghost in the Machine by Parish Brewing Company. They were both
Cool.
really good.
So after they went out of the shoe business, they decided to open a brewery. Makes sense.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's been a long time since Alan escaped from the jungle, so he probably learned a thing or two.
That's true. He probably had to make his own beer when he was living in the jungle for that
Right.
long.
That's a good point.
And then the Abita New England IPA was called Hop On.
Okay. I think I've heard of that, or may have had.
Did I have a
it.
picture of a car like you would see in Arrested Development that's meant for loading onto jets?
No,
Oh, that's disappointing.
it had it has a trolley on it because in New Orleans they have a trolley that runs down the main road there. So, it's Hop On the trolley essentially.
Oh, I gotcha.
But I will tell you this: it was not my favorite beer. The Jucifer and the Ghost in the Machine were pretty fantastic, but the other one was not.
I feel like they missed a good
Nice.
opportunity for a pun with Gosa in the Machine.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
You should tell them that. Maybe they'll listen.
I should next time I'm down there.
Yeah.
I actually had
Hashtag
that
Parish.
beer-
Let's get on this.
There you go.
Yeah.
I actually had that beer at Deuce McAllister's bar. So Deuce McAllister, for everybody who doesn't know, was an old Saints running back, and now he owns a bar on Bourbon Street. So I went there, and that's where I had a lot of these good beers.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
so yeah, you basically said that each bar has their own little thing to grab your attention. Like, what were some of the, I guess, gimmicks or highlights of these bars?
Well, so they had some of the standard ones. So like there was a dueling piano bar, which is
Oh,
pretty
nice.
much standard for like this type of like street. It's kind of like Broadway in Nashville. But there's a lot of live music. There's an old absinthe house because obviously being the whole voodoo thing down there, that's a big thing for them. There's one that's like a live cover band. There's another one where it's kind of, for lack of a better term, a strip club.
I really am curious what the better term would have been.
I think I was thinking like burlesque show. But,
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking like tasteless nudes.
Yeah, right?
There's just tons of normal bars, but then there was like bars for you can get hard smoothies or hard like slushies,
Okay.
which is pretty
So
cool.
ice.
Yeah, like a hard icy.
A slush puppy, alcoholic slush puppy.
Correct.
Nice.
Obviously there was Deuce McAllister's place. A lot of like traditional Louisiana style gumbo bars and stuff like that. So it's really fun. That and the food is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a big food city and it's really rich and awesome.
Yeah, did you get the thing with the powdered sugar on it? What are they called? Ben something? Benoit?
A beignet.
Beignets. Yeah.
I was going to go this morning to Cafe Du Monde, which is like the famous beignet place, but I chose to sleep in because I was out late drinking.
Yeah. I mean, with the 10 to go drinks, I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah, so we end up staying in Louisiana. We have a really good rate for my company with the Ritz. So I was staying in the Ritz-Carlton, which is fantastic. Their beds are extremely comfortable, and just the entire place smells well above my pay grade. But
Nice.
but our company rate's only $1.40 a night, so I get to live like a king and stay affordably.
That's pretty sweet.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great. I've been there multiple times, and every time I love the Ritz even more.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. So here on Drinking Alone with Friends, we have to-go beers as well, but they're
Oh,
like,
nice transition.
yeah. See, hey, what? No, I'm gonna use that one later. But anyways, we
Okay,
have to go.
okay.
We have to-go beers as well, but they're to go now. So, of course, what's everybody drinking tonight?
Oh, by the way, just for the sake of everybody listening, we're still alone, even though Chris and I are in the same state and in the same house. We are on opposite ends of the house.
That's very true. I
Right.
mean, I can still hear
Yeah.
him.
We thought it was important to uphold the integrity of the podcast by actually drinking alone.
And we wanted good audio.
Right. And it also makes the call is coming from inside the house joke much more funny. So.
Oh, yes. So now go back to the beginning and re-listen to
Okay.
that.
Right? Now you'll get
It'll
it.
be funny.
Then you come back here. Welcome back from the beginning.
All right. Let's pause for edit. Okay, welcome back. Now what's everybody drinking?
Who wants to start this week? Todd?
I'll start. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I actually have to open my beer, but I don't want to borrow Chris's trademarked
I
way
was,
of opening a can.
if I hear it at all, I'm
TM.
suing you.
So, I am drinking a double dry hopped Sleeper Street IPA by Trillium Brewing Company.
Nice.
7.2% alcohol. It's brewed in Massachusetts, and it's named after apparently some road in Massachusetts too, but I'm not really sure what road that is.
Probably Sleeper Street.
Sleeper Street,
Yeah.
I would guess. Yeah.
So this beer is one of my favorites by Trillium. As you can tell from last week, I'm pretty passionate about my thoughts on Trillium. I think this is dry hopped with Galaxy and Citra. It's almost a little bit too hoppy, but I think that's what makes it great.
It flirts that line in a way that you really enjoy.
Yes, it just tastes earthy and awesome and orangey and limey. It's fantastic.
Nice. Unfiltered, I assume?
It is 100% unfiltered, as most New England style IPAs are. I don't know what the color is because I'm drinking it out of a can. But yeah, it's one of my favorite beers, and I'm happy that I think this is my last can. So I'm happy I get to share it with friends, but I'm kind of upset that I'm gonna not have any left.
Yeah, that's a sad day
bittersweet.
when you run out of a good
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
I've had the original Sleeper Street. I don't know if I've had the double dry hopped one, but that's solid. So I can only imagine what the DDH is like.
Yeah, it's great. Luckily, unlike you guys, I can just drive an hour and get it whenever I want it. And you guys can't. So, haha.
Yeah, I had to fly 2 hours on a plane to get even near it.
And even then, you were told no, you were not allowed to go.
Well, that was because my son was getting tired, and he was a trooper on the plane, but he was still getting tired.
You couldn't have convinced them and be like, hey, I'll give you a beer if you let me go?
No, my wife does not care at all.
No, I was talking about giving your son the beer to say, hey, if you behave, I'll give you one of these.
But just think, too, like if he had invested that beer now, 20 years from now, how much better that beer would be. How much interest he would have earned on that beer. He would have had like 3 cases of Trillium by then.
That's true. And that's a small fortune, so...
Right.
I mean, if you would have bought the case and brought it back to... You really could raise money for his college fund if you brought it back to Tennessee and sold it for, $30 a 4-pack.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's not really my MO. Plus, he's going to get plenty of scholarships from his football career, so I don't want to, why bother,
Is this before or after he's a 5-time WWE champ?
No. You're getting it all backwards.
Good, important
He's gonna
question.
play- yeah, he's gonna play for the Colts first, win at least 7 Super Bowls, and then he's going to become a WWE superstar. And I'm going to be his tag team partner, so it's no big deal.
Oh, you're going to do a whole father-son thing.
Got it all figured out.
There you go. It's important to have a plan.
So, Todd, how would you
Yes.
rate your Sleeper Street?
I would give this probably a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow. That's
Wow.
very, very high for you.
Yes, and it is a double dry hopped Sleeper Street, so it's worth it.
Yeah, that's a very good rating. I mean, even for non-Trillium beers, that's a very good rating. Especially
Yeah,
for non-Trillium beers.
Trillium is, they're usually pretty high up there because they are Trillium.
Yeah, they do a good job, as we discussed in earnest last week.
And I'm sure we will discuss multiple times over this podcast my love for this brewery.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we'll get periodic updates on their new brewery opening.
Oh, I plan on driving by where it's going to be built to get an update.
It's going to be a new
see.
segment on the show.
Yeah.
Trillium
How much progress
Watch.
have they made this week?
Yeah. So Chris, what are you drinking this night?
What am I drinking?
Yeah.
I'll tell you in just a second. Yeah.
Ooh, solid
The weirdest
acoustics in
thing
that
is
basement.
hearing that come through the speaker again.
So I'm drinking a Frankenberry, which is a Connecticut beer, because I'm in Connecticut.
That's a beard beer, right?
It's a beard beer. So Beard Brewing in Stonington, Connecticut is a pretty solid brewery that's been around for a little bit now. I don't know exactly how old they are, but they've been around for a little while. As far
I want
as
to say 2011 or 12.
yeah, that sounds about right. I was gonna say
Yeah.
5 or 6 years, but that makes it about right.
Yeah, I would guess November of 11, but
So Frankenberry is a double IPA. It's not a New England style, which is kind of surprising because all I've talked about the last couple weeks are how I love New England style IPAs. But it was a brewery we haven't featured before, and I didn't want to go back to some of the old waters too quickly. So pulled this one out of good old Tud's fridge. 9.1% alcohol, mosaic hops, which are one of my favorite type of hops. I think it's generally a favorite of most folks.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite beers from them, and just for clarity's sake, it's Beard Brewing. It's BEER''D Brewing. The logo is pretty fantastic. Take a look at our Instagram to see what it looks like. I recommend anybody who ever comes to Connecticut or anywhere close to Connecticut should stop through there.
yeah, the logo's modeled after the founder's beard. So,
Yes, it is.
I like to think that Chris and I were inspirations to it.
Yeah, right. So it's actually pretty neat beer because you get like a red like a berry flavor from it, but it's actually just the fact that it's so hopped with mosaic. There's actually no berries in the beer, but you get a good berry flavor on it, which is pretty impressive. The fact that they're able to do that.
yeah.
Would you say that's why they named it Frankenberry?
Yes, actually, it says it right on the can, but they say it's just like the cereal, but I've never had the cereal, so I'm gonna take
Oh, the cereal's delicious.
I'm gonna take their word for it. But I can tell you this beer's delicious.
It comes out every year around Halloween time, so keep your eyes open because it'll be out shortly.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of cereal nowadays. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe.
That, Count Chocula, and then is it Booberry?
Blueberry, yeah.
Booberry. So Frankenberry is more strawberry-ish. Count Chocula is obviously chocolate. And Booberry, if you haven't guessed it, is blueberry.
Tastes like ghosts.
They take the ghost from all the Mario games. They smash it up.
Poor
It's
Boo.
the stuff the Ghostbusters condense down in their proton packs. They just extract that and put it
Yeah,
into cereal.
Yeah, that's how they do it. I mean, it's just cereal 101 really.
Tastes like Slimer, basically.
Yeah.
So what would you give it out of 5?
So this beer's pretty good. I will say Beard in general, even though they're a pretty solid brewery, not generally my favorites. There's a couple I really like from them, but I would give this one a pretty solid 4.25 out of 5.
Nice. That's
That's
good.
a pretty solid rating.
Yeah, it's a really good beer. I mean, I actually had this before they canned it long ago. I got a small growler fill and kind of fell in love with it. So
I think we had it at your bachelor party, too.
we might have. We had a lot of beer at the bachelor party though, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
It all
And
blends
that was-
together.
Yeah, I know.
Fortunately, with Untapped, you can check.
True. Actually, it's funny. I haven't had this beer in a while, so I'm curious what I rated it on Untapped and see if it's skewed one way or the other.
Ooh, what would you rate a Frankenberry?
Okay, so I rated the Frankenberry right today a 4.25. What did I rank it?
Can I take a guess?
Sure.
So I'm going to say you ranked it a 4.75.
Ooh, wow. I don't
Back.
think.
I'm going to say back in 2015, September 2015.
All right, hold on. Okay, clicking on it now.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanna take a guess at this too?
I think you're saying it was 4.25. That's my guess. I think
Okay.
you're consistent.
I have 3 check-ins of this beer. My most recent was September 8th, 2017, when I rated it a 4.5.
Ooh.
But interestingly enough, the 2 times before that, I rated it a 4. So I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's good that you're kind of dialing it in now. You're 4.25, so.
Yeah. So.
Did you ever have it in September 2015?
September 2016.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, just 1 year off.
So, but yeah, so that's interesting. But now I rated a 4.25. Pretty cool. But who's left? Obert, are you last?
That's me. Yeah. And so to the show today, I'm bringing my first beer of an official episode. Finally joining the beer club with you guys. I know. I'm excited to share this beer with you. And if you are not following us on Instagram, you have to, because you really got to see a label of this beer. This beer is
really,
from...
honestly, you should be following us on Instagram anyways.
That's a good point.
This is our third episode. Like, let's get on this, people.
This beer is called Teddy Roosevelt American Badass by Meadowlark Brewing. Made in Montana, treasured everywhere.
Yeah. Probably one of the best beer names I've ever heard.
It's really good, right? The label is obviously Teddy Roosevelt. He's wearing an Evel Knievel suit, holding a sword, standing on the back of what looks like a Pontiac Trans Am with kegs in the back, being driven by a grizzly bear. And I must say, the beer lives up to the label. It's definitely a very complex beer. I think this beer has the most going on of any beer I've had brewed in Montana so far. Meadowlark, it's only 550 miles from me, so just like a short 9.5-hour drive. I might have to go check that one out sometime soon. But it's Imperial Wheat IPA aged on oak staves, and definitely have some fruity notes in here, a little bit of grapefruit, but it's also infused with hop oil, which really comes through. I think I'm going to give this one a solid 4.25, and it's definitely, like I said, the best commercially available beer from statewide I've seen so far. I picked up this bottle at the Bree Bottle Shop down in Kalispell. It seems like it's the only place around here to pick up unique and eclectic bottles, so I'll definitely be making more trips there.
And everybody listening, like, this is one beer you do have to check out the Instagram for, because I'm looking at this picture and the label is buck wild. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what's going on in most of it, but it is awesome.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. I love the bear driving the car.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing screams Montana like this.
Bears driving cars, and deceased presidents holding katanas or whatever.
I think it's a saber. I would say it's a saber.
It's a katana.
What is the significance of Teddy Roosevelt to Montana?
So Teddy Roosevelt spent some time over in the Dakotas. Meadowlark is right on the border between Montana and North Dakota. So, and where he spent time in the Dakotas is, less than 50 miles from there. So it was instrumental to Teddy Roosevelt's life, his time there, and probably made him into the badass that is the reason why he's my number one favorite president. So
well, it's clear during his time there he learned how to tame a bear and taught it to drive, and got a suit made out of the American flag, bought a katana from Japan, got it shipped over, and built this badass car that the bear is driving. I mean, his time there clearly was well spent.
Right. Yeah, clearly. Yeah. Who cares about the Rough Riders? As long as he can pull off a mean Evel Knievel, that's all that matters.
You know that Teddy Roosevelt stole that katana from Japan.
Oh, that's a good
point. There's no he ordered it.
Right.
Clearly, he ordered it on Amazon. It got there in 2 days.
Cool. That sounds like a really awesome beer, though. I'm going to have to...
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get it. I'm sure I can't get it in Tennessee or Connecticut, but I'll have to be on the lookout, see if I can find some trading partners, or if
Yeah.
Obert finds another bottle.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely have to ship you guys some.
Well,
some
who
of
knows?
this
I
'cause
mean,
it's pretty good stuff.
it may be in my UPS box that still has not arrived.
Yeah, you never know.
I plan on giving an
Um,
update about this UPS package every week on this podcast until it
Okay,
arrives.
yeah. It's a 7.9% alcohol content, by the way.
Okay, all right. And you said that was just a straight up IPA, right? Not a double.
It's an Imperial Wheat IPA, so
Oh,
I think
okay,
that's
okay.
basically a double. But yeah, and this is in a 22-ounce bottle as well.
Yeah, yeah. Head over to the Instagram, folks. That was definitely an awesome label. So I'm like drinking this beer and I'm like enjoying the taste, but I've actually been like a little under the weather the last couple days, so I have this sore throat that is finally starting to go away. But every time I swallow, it just burns the entire way down. But that's how much I love you guys,
no.
and how much I love the podcast, because
Yeah.
I'm willing to drink this delicious beer, even though it pains me to do so.
I'm
Just
sad
a
that you're
shameless plug
sick.
here. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's
yeah,
just let that soak in a little bit.
right.
No, Chris, I'm sorry that you're sick, but I'm glad it didn't mess up your sexy voice. So that's
Yeah.
always a plus.
You can always the voice is exactly the same, but I felt like trash like over the weekend. So I work weekends, and I was just a useless blob at work this weekend. I just couldn't talk really. It was terrible. I actually went to my car and like took naps at lunch. Normal cool guy stuff. So
Yeah.
You had the man flu.
Dedication.
yeah, well, my wife was getting mad at me because I kept complaining, obviously, about how much my throat hurts, and she was all like, "I've had bad sore throats before too," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you haven't had one this bad." She just didn't understand.
Listen, they don't get it. I mean, men get sicker.
Yeah, we
Then
get
women.
more sick. They just don't get it.
Yeah, we're definitely not bigger babies about it. We just get sicker.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they would have gotten the sickness that Chris would have gotten, they would have to go to the hospital. But because
Right.
we're
Might
strong,
not survive, honestly.
right? Yeah, we're strong, manly men, so we just fought through it, and all he had was a sore throat.
Right.
and all I did was complain about it, possibly constantly. So
Heroically.
Yeah, but
heroically.
yeah, you
complain.
have to heroically explain how much you're fighting through the sickness.
yeah, man, I swear we get no respect,
Zero.
no sympathy.
So Chris, I saw that you brought some Tennessee beers back to Connecticut with you.
Yeah. I brought some. I didn't get to hit up as many breweries as I like, but I stopped at Southern Grist, of course, and picked up a ton of beer. I spent way too much money on beer before going on a vacation where I'm going to spend too much money on beer. And I
Nice.
brought home a couple 4-packs for some folks, Tud, and some other friends that we have to try and get some of this delicious Southern beer up north. Other than that, I noticed that when you pack a bunch of beer into a suitcase and it's all wrapped in plastic bags and bubble wrap, it looks a hell of a lot like a suitcase bomb. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it was pretty interesting. If I still have the picture, I'll throw it up on Instagram as well. But definitely looked like a suitcase bomb. It didn't.
So
get
did they
flagged.
go through your bag?
No, they didn't. Which I honestly thought they were going to. If I were working
Yeah.
at an airport, I would go through it. Let's just say
Yeah.
that, based on my
you'd
no
be like-
experience.
If
Right.
you were working at the airport, you would have taken the beer.
Right, that's what I
Also
was
true.
going with. At least one of them.
Yeah.
Well, TSA tax.
yeah, we take your government's money, but we also take your beer. That's the slogan,
Nice.
I think, for the TSA.
Yeah.
That is a good slogan
so.
for them.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but traveling was interesting. I mean, it honestly, all in all, wasn't terrible. But my son, who is very regimented, he goes to bed at a certain time, he wakes up at a certain time, and is up for 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours, and goes for a nap for 2 hours. It's a schedule that we follow because it keeps him a happy baby. But He did not get his naps because he doesn't nap anymore when he's not in a crib. And it was a long day for baby. So he did well up until driving to Tud's house, and then he just starts melting down, of course. So
close.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. It seems as though every time that we've had a long day or something, he like starts breaking down when we're, I don't know, 10 minutes from home or 10 minutes from where we're going. I'm like, man, if you only held on for like another 5-10 minutes, we'd be home and no crying. But nope, without fail, he just almost always starts exploding.
Now I should point out that he was really happy when you brought him inside my house. He wasn't grumpy anymore.
No, it's just he just is like, all right, I'm done with this, and just goes crazy until he's out of it, and then he's like, oh, I'm happy, baby. So, but yeah, he did really well. Made a lot of friends. You know, he flirted with a lot of ladies. He's definitely a charmer. So, yeah,
how many of those ladies were grandparents or great grandparents?
A few, but then there were a lot that were probably close to our age.
Okay.
So, you know, and then there was one like 6 or 7-year-old girl who thought he was really, really cute. So,
what I've always heard from my friends who have children is that if they happen to ever become single for, you know, some awful reason, that they would be single all of about maybe 30 seconds if they just brought their kids around with them.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where that's true because, but then again, I think about it and I'm like, you always hear about, you know, ladies don't like guys with kids, but luckily I don't have to worry about that. I'm done.
That's very true. And I mean, it sounds like CJ's doing pretty well in the ladies scene as well, so he doesn't have to worry either.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he doesn't need me cramping his style.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Dad, you're so old.
Nice. Yes. So I'm gonna have to bring some. I didn't even think about it, but I'm gonna have to bring some Montana beer back. Now that you brought Tennessee beer, we'll have to do a 3-state switcheroo.
Ooh, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of beer over the next 2 weeks.
I know, right? Well, so the problem is that like Southern Grist has some awesome beers in 16-ounce cans. There's not a lot of 16-ounce awesome beers in cans around here. A lot of the great beers are in bottles. So
that's okay. I accept bottles.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to travel with bottles. Is the problem.
The secret is when you travel with them, make sure you wrap the top of it with duct tape.
Yeah.
And just stick each one in a gallon storage bag, and they should travel just fine.
Yeah, I actually heard you don't even need the duct tape, but I don't know how true that is. I guess it's just an extra safety measure.
I meant to say electrical tape.
Oh yeah.
Electrical tape works so much better.
Yeah, that's what I meant to, but still.
The worst thing is you don't want that top to pop off in your bag.
Right.
So that electrical tape is just, you know, it may be completely unnecessary, but at the same time, you know, better safe than having, you know, mosaic and citrus smelling clothes.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But yeah, I bought some cans of beer today to bring home, so you'll have plenty of Cold Smoke and Jeremiah Johnson, and I'll have to get some more stuff tomorrow too.
Awesome.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
You'll like the stuff that I have for you. Chris has already seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm actually drinking one of them right now. Spoilers.
Yeah, maybe we could do next recording when I'm at Tud's house.
Oh wow, there's gonna be so much recording going on in my house.
I know. That might not work out. We'll see. Hopefully. I'll have my people talk to your people.
Okay. My people are busy most days though, so you know, leave a message.
Okay. Do your people have people? Can I have my people talk to your people's people?
My people all have people, and those people have people.
Oh shit.
I mean, I'm an international traveler, man. I was just in New Orleans, you know.
International.
Dallas in a few weeks. International. I went to the Dominican 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago. That's international.
They speak French in New Orleans, so it's basically international.
They have a different set of laws down there, believe it or not.
Where's this?
Yeah, you can take to-go drinks.
Oh.
No, not No, not even that, but like their court system follows more French laws than English laws, so their court system's a little bit more different. Like, the United States court of law is English based for the most part. Not in Louisiana. It's all French.
Oh, that's really
Okay.
really weird.
Yeah, so when you do business down there, you have to be aware of the different laws.
That's interesting. So I guess that makes sense why mimes are legal in Louisiana then.
So Ted mentioned something earlier in the episode, and I wanted to get your guys' take on it. And one other thing. So he mentioned that in Louisiana you have to do, or in New Orleans especially, you have to do a bunch of bar hopping. What are your guys' thoughts on bar hopping?
I like it. I'm also more of a outgoing type of person, so I like to change my scenery and see pretty much everything. I definitely have FOMO, #FOMO, fear of missing out. So I like to hop between different things and see what's going on and just enjoy the atmosphere from just a general standpoint. I just like to see everything. So I'm a real big fan of it.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about bar hopping, but at the same time, there's also, I really like going into a bar, everybody knows your name, and definitely getting a little bit of that down in Whitefish, where at this point I have kind of a routine. I'll do bar hopping, but I'll know, like, okay, I'll start my night here, I'll get a cocktail, and then this place has live music later on, and then I like to go here for when they're closing up, because it's a little quieter. So I like to bar hop, but it's a little more regimented. It's not so much just seat in my pants. It's like at this point, I'm like, all right, start my night at this restaurant to get some quick dinner, and then I'm gonna go here for a drink, and then I have it all planned out basically.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I definitely see merit in that. Now, I'm not a very outgoing person most of the time, so I remember when I came down with you guys, I think. Yeah, with you guys. We went out and did a bunch of bar hopping in Nashville, and I was like enjoying myself at this bar and like having a drink or two, and then, or maybe a drink, and then everybody was like, okay, back in the Uber, we're going somewhere else. And then we go to a different bar, and I'd be having fun, and then I'd have like a drink, and then everybody would be like, back in the Uber, we're going somewhere else. And I was like, I don't understand. I can't even get drunk because there's not enough time. Like, I'm always in an Uber. I don't know. So maybe it's just because I'm an old dad, but I don't know. I think I'd rather just go to some beer bar, some craft beer bar, where there's 48 beers on tap.
Did you just say that you didn't get drunk?
I don't think I didn't get that drunk. I got buzzed, if that.
When it was me, you, Obert, and Grady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I got drunk either, if I remember correctly. I think I was pretty much stone cold sober the whole night.
Yeah, you didn't have a rough day the next day at all.
No, nope, that doesn't sound like me. No, I was gonna say the only thing that saved me from dying that night was probably the short Uber rides of sobriety. It's what kept me alive.
I must have missed stuff at these bars then. I mean, I was tired the next day. That's for sure.
We were doing shots at every single bar.
See, I don't know if I did any shots. I
Maybe
must
Chris
have been doing
missed
this
the
wrong.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when Obert learned that you don't party with Grady.
Yes.
You can have fun with Grady. You can go to bars with Grady, but you do not try to keep up with him because that's just a recipe to failure.
Yeah, no. See, yeah, I guess I must have missed shots because I don't remember if I took shots, it wasn't that many. So I must have just missed that train.
They played that song. Shots, shots, shots. Everybody but Chris.
That's what they're saying in that song.
Right.
Now I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think that's what it is.
I'm legally not allowed to have shots as long as that song is played once in any bar. So
That's why we kept for bar hopping.
yeah, they play it. They'd be like, "Oh, we gotta go somewhere else. Chris can't have any shots." And then they'd get on their call, the walkie-talkies, and be like, "Oh, Chris is leaving. Make sure you guys have it on tune." And then as soon as we walk in, shots, shots, shots for everybody with Chris.
Oh, so speaking of taking shots and bar hopping, I did hit a major drinking accomplishment this weekend. I ate the worm in a bottle of mezcal, so I
How'd
got
that work
going
out for you?
me. Well, I tried to swallow it like I was taking a pill, But but as similar as you would think taking a pill is to taking a shot, it's definitely different, slightly different muscles. So it didn't all go down in one gulp. So it was a little crunchy, but I did it. So I'm glad I checked that one off the box.
Was there any hallucinations that occurred?
Now, is that a thing that's supposed to happen?
That's what I've always heard. That and eating the scorpion, obviously, but I'm assuming yours didn't have a scorpion in it.
Oh, no. No. Just had the worm, and I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah, no, I've never done that, so you got one up on me.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever attempt it. I think I'm out on that one.
I have a bottle at home with a worm in it just staring at me. And I always thought, someday I'll finish this bottle and eat this worm. But I was able to just take the last shot at a bar and managed to bypass the whole bottle that way. Glad I got that one in before I turned 30.
That's pretty cool. I mean, more power to you.
Yeah.
To add to that, something that I tried this week would be absinthe.
Oh, you never had absinthe before?
No.
What'd you think of it? Did you like it?
No, I did not like it. I don't care for it.
Do you like black licorice?
No.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of black licorice.
Yeah, it was something that I just don't, I get it. I get why people could like it, but it's not my thing. I tried it both ways. I tried it with the sugar. I tried it without the sugar.
Yeah.
So I've officially tried them both.
So do you like Jaeger?
Not really. I'll do like a Jaeger bomb.
I said, do you like Jaeger bombs?
Yes, I will do a Jaeger bomb. But absinthe I will not do ever again.
What about an absinthe bomb?
Oh boy.
Yeah, you shouldn't say never do again. You never know where life's gonna take you.
It's when you drop a Four Loko into a cup of absinthe.
Right. Oh man, that sounds really good.
Oh boy.
They immediately call the hospital.
I will tell you that this whole absinthe thing led me down the path of going to try Crystal Burgers, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's basically like White Castle, but the southern version of it.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow they took White Castle, made it less classy.
Yes. Surprisingly, it is less classy.
How was it?
Decisions were made, choices were made. I'm not proud of those choices. My body was not happy with me this morning about those choices, and I don't know whether to attribute it to the absinthe or the Crystal Burger, or both.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'd blame it on the burger if I were you.
Yeah, probably. It's definitely the burger.
Yeah, not the alcohol.
So if you guys have been to White Castle, right?
No.
No.
Okay, so White Castle, it's not just a burger. Like, the burgers are tiny. Like, they're like mini burgers. So they're
sliders, one might say.
Yes, but they're like the original like sliders. So at Crystal's, you don't order just one burger. I mean, I guess you could and get one little slider burger, but you order them in like 6-packs.
Okay. So how many 6-packs did you order?
I bought one 6-pack and some chicken nuggets.
Okay. That's restraint. I was expecting you to say more than that.
But I did get my 6-packs all had bacon and cheese on them, because obviously why wouldn't you have bacon and cheese?
Right.
And it was good in the moment.
but afterwards, maybe not so good.
Listen, 9 o'clock in the morning came fast, and it was rough.
And so did the toilet.
That's one thing that I never want to do again, which is fly hungover. It's just like such a rough experience, as I'm sure you can attest to, Todd.
Yeah, so I didn't fly till noon today. So by the time I got on the plane, my hangover is gone.
Oh,
but
that's
that time in Nashville, I flew hungover, and I don't even know if that was hungover. I think that was just flat out drunk.
Flirting the line, I like it. That's way better than hungover.
Yeah.
Well, considering that we got home at 4 a.m. that time, and I had to leave at 7 a.m.
Yeah, that was a bitch. Yeah, I remember Orbit being like, "Oh, I'll drive him to the airport." So we tried to wake Ober at 6 a.m. or whatever, and it was just wasn't happening.
That's really surprising considering I was stone cold sober. So I don't know why you couldn't wake me up.
You were just really tired.
Yeah, just really tired.
That must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy.
That's right. Because I think after we got home, I decided I was going to read in bed for another hour before I went to bed. So by that point, it was 5, and I was just really tired.
Yeah, his eyes were tired from all the intellectual reading
Right.
and being
Yes.
sober.
Yeah. Yeah. Being sober tires your eyes out so much.
It's like sober hungover, you know.
Yeah, you yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question? How do you like your bacon cooked?
Ooh, it's a good question.
This is timely.
Well, you were just talking about them on the Crystal Burgers, so.
Yes. So I am a big fan of my bacon being crispy. Like not burnt, but very crispy to the point where like there's no floppage. It's just straight up bacon that just breaks apart in your mouth and it's delicious. It's amazing.
So you're basically just biting into and eating like the sawdust of bacon.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
that's exactly Todd. I mean, it sounds like Chris is on a different side here, but I'm with you on this one, Todd.
Ah, no. Come on. Okay, so
I mean, I'm sorry that you like
Yeah.
raw bacon. I mean, it's okay. I have some in my fridge. It's right next to you. You can go get some.
I didn't say I liked raw bacon, but there's that. If I had to choose between sawdust bacon and, chewy bacon, I would take the chewy bacon.
Ugh.
It's not sawdust. It's just it's cooked bacon is really what it is.
No, well, it's cooked the other way too, but there's a point of bacon. It's like the equilibrium between both crispy and chewy, where it's like if you were to hold a piece of bacon up, it would stay straight for a little bit and then like curve ever so slightly towards the end. That is the perfect piece of bacon.
You notice how when you go to
So-
places and you try to order things, there's either regular or extra crispy. There's never slightly undercooked and raw. As an option.
Actually, there probably is. I'd have to look.
Yeah, I like my bacon to snap in half when I would try if I were to try and fold it in half. That's what I want my bacon to do.
Yes, I'm in full agreement.
None of this
No,
flaccid
I'm
bacon
100%.
bullshit. I want rock hard
But, like,
bacon.
Oh man, you're missing out. I'm telling you, my dad and my sister both make it this way, and it's the best. They're the ones that can make like the perfect piece of bacon.
So I can't blame you then. You come from a family of people who just eat bacon wrong.
Right.
No, we eat bacon right.
Chris, how do you feel about bacon crumbles?
Bacon crumbles.
Yeah, like on a
Um,
salad or something. I don't know. Like bacon
well,
bits.
You'd have to assume that I eat salad. So there's strike number one.
Okay.
Uh,
How do you feel about
okay,
bacon,
let's say
sprinkled bacon on stuff?
Well, they only make bacon crumbles one way, and it's dried bacon. So
Right. Do you
I
not
don't know.
like that?
I don't dislike it. Now, I'm not saying if I go somewhere and there's only crispy bacon that I'm not gonna have bacon. Of course
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'm
have
not
bacon.
saying I'll
But-
never eat non-crispy bacon either. I think we're on
Right.
the
Like
same page there.
Yeah.
I have eaten slightly undercooked bacon, but I prefer like cooked bacon.
No, I don't know. I see. I just can't get on board with this one. No, it's because you haven't had it right. Like you haven't had it right. You've only had it bad, and like you just like, oh, this is like you're thinking. You're like, oh, bacon is bad, but you think it's good because it's bacon, But now there's this whole new world of good bacon.
No, I think
And explore for the rest.
there's only one way to settle this, right? And I think we need to get listener input on this one. I think we need to post picture of with 2 pieces of bacon, and you could have hashtag Team Rock Hard, hashtag Team Flaccid. You gotta comment on which kind of bacon you like to eat.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. This is gonna be a poll.
Right.
So keep a lookout.
You know-
Instagram and Facebook
Right.
and all that stuff. Wherever we can put a poll, we're gonna put a poll.
I'm just letting you know the poll's going out right now on Twitter, live in
It's
person.
gonna- for all of our followers.
Yes.
Yes, this is a good one.
So people follow
So-
along.
Team Flaccid, let's go. Hashtag Team Flaccid.
How do you like?
I think we gotta set up the stakes of this
Oh.
bet a little bit in terms of, the winner's gotta, I don't know, Do something. To the
Hmm.
losers owe the winner something.
Loser. Oh, so the me owes the you guys, or the you guys owe the me.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I just got to tell you, you better make this bet yourself, Chris, because you're going to owe Obert and I both whatever it is that you put on the line.
I don't know. I'll have to think of that. Hey, send it in. Send it in, folks. Whatever you think the punishment should be, let us know.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And well, I don't know, make a poll of it or something. So hashtag Team Placid. So.
Hey, one other
But
thing I wanted to cover before we wrap up here is you said you were going to go to some breweries while you're in Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your plan? What's on your to-do list?
Ooh, so to-do list.
Let's call it a to-drink list.
Fair.
To drink list. Yeah. So I think maybe Friday night, depending on how things shake out, we might hit up Fox Farm because I have to go there at least once. We were talking about Saturday having like a drinking extravaganza where we'll probably hit up like Fat Orange Cat.
Hey, just to let you know about Fox Farm, they're open on Thursdays too.
Oh, okay. So maybe we'll try and sneak over there Thursday. But anyways, so Saturday we were talking about maybe doing like Fat Orange Cat and then hitting up a winery that my wife used to work at, and then heading into Middletown, jumping up to Stubborn Beauty.
Forest City, and the new
Oh yeah, Forest City.
the
Yep.
new cidery there too.
Yep. And then from there we can either hit up the Hop Knot and Eli Cannons, or we can go down and have Maddie's Wings or something like that. So that'll be good. Friday during the day we might go to Outer Light. I don't know. Haven't talked about it yet. My wife didn't seem too thrilled, but what are you gonna do? Can't make her happy all the time. uh, and then we were talking about making a trip up to Treehouse maybe sometime next week. So
Nice. That'll be quite
Yeah.
the beer trip.
yeah, well, you figure I'm gonna be up here. I have exactly 12 cans worth of space in my suitcase now, so I gotta do something with it.
So you got to go to at least 12 breweries, basically.
Right.
One
exactly.
can from each. That's going to be
I'll
an
drink-
interesting treehouse trip to go there and be like, I would like 1 can of beer, please.
Well, no, you buy 4, you drink
Right.
3, and bring 1 home.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully by the end of this trip, these delicious beers aren't gonna burn my throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But you know what I am gonna drink them out of?
No, I do not.
A big frosty mug of wisdom.
Ooh, very nice transition.
Yeah. Oh man. So as you know, we like to end the show every week with our 3 handles on our frosty mug of wisdom, and these are 3 things that we like that we think you should go check out. And I guess if you guys don't mind, I'll lead off.
No, please.
Floor is yours.
Cool. All right. So the first handle on our frosty mug of wisdom this week is a YouTube channel. It's called Barstool Banter, and it's these 2 folks that they do a bunch of reviews, kind of, I mean, very similar to what we do now. But they get together, they talk about a type of beer or something. I haven't made it through all their backlog, but the ones that I've seen have been pretty funny, including they drank dollar store beers or 99-cent store beers.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it's pretty good. But if you're out there and you're looking for more beer content, I would hit them up. They're pretty funny guys. One of them's got a great beard, and one of them is bald, but that, the beard makes up for it. But they're funny. They're fans of the show, friends of the show, so we are fans of them as well. So check them out. Barstool Banter on YouTube.
Are they affiliated with Barstool Sports by any chance?
I do not believe so.
That was my first thought too, so I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, and I mean I can double check, but I don't think they are.
It just
But
seemed like such
good
a
stuff. You
it just
should check
seemed like
them out.
such an easy transition to go to Barstool Sports from there.
Right. I definitely thought they were before you asked, Todd, so.
So
Nice.
all right, who's our central handle this week?
I'll go in the middle, and I'm going to continue my theme from last week of random home improvements that can just add a nice little touch to your life, like the wall-mounted bottle opener. This week I'm going to go with a couple weeks ago I replaced my front door handle, my lock on the front door with a keypad, and I'll tell you what, I could never go back. It's perfect for when you're walking into your place with groceries, whatever. You don't want to reach your keys out of your pocket. Just put your code in. It's great. If you have visitors coming, you can just give them the code. They can get in. Keypad handle for your door. I highly recommend it.
You can never get locked out of your house because
Exactly.
you know the code, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, theoretically, the battery could die, right? But it gives you a long warning before the battery actually dies. And there's a key backup that I keep in my car. So I don't think I could actually really get locked out. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I recommend
Now,
it.
if only there was some type of invention where it just saw you and facial ID'd you and just popped the door open without you having to type in a code.
That would be cool but creepy, I think. I think that'd be too creepy for me.
Yeah. He just got to the keyless entry, so let's be a while before he's the touchless entry.
Well, if
Tom Cruise
laptop,
in Minority Report, stealing eyeballs and stuff.
my laptop could unlock with my fingerprint, so I feel like we're not too far away from where that's on the door, where I can just touch it and it will just.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it would unlock my phone, I mean, why not?
It's true.
But
Yeah,
it's harder to let
sure.
guests in that way.
That's cool. Maybe, I don't know. We probably won't look into that, but it kind of helps. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm probably not gonna buy one, but it seems
To
cool.
be honest, I never would have gotten
But-
one except for when I first moved to Montana. My first place had one, and I used it for 6 weeks, and then I'm like, yeah, I can't go back. This is too convenient.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure I could be suckered into that.
Chris, if only there was a place that you could go to buy one that you knew of. I mean, maybe a place with a big orange logo.
Highs?
No, absolutely. No. I'll never go anywhere that's orange.
So, Todd, you going to close us out with your final handle of advice here?
I am. So my handle this week is about a new podcast that I've recently gotten into, and I really love. I listened to it all the way down to Louisiana. I listened to it basically throughout my trip and on the ride home today. It's called Hardcore History with Dan Carlin. It's a podcast basically where this guy named Dan Carlin goes through history on a hardcore level. I know that's really creative with my description there.
Wow. You're painting such a picture. I'm transported into a faraway place.
His podcasts are about 3 hours long, and they tackle. I'm listening to the one about World War I right now, so Dan does a really good job of diving deep into basically just all the different stuff that's going on with the war, how it's affecting the world, how it's changing the outlook. You know, how the war started off basically where the French were still riding horses and fighting with bayonets and basically dressed in brightly colored uniforms, and were just running at the Germans and getting mowed down by machine guns. And now, you know, I think I'm in like, he's talking about like 1916 or 1917 at this point, where everybody's now dressed in, you know, more neutral colors, and it's basically, you know, the invention of modern warfare right in front of our eyes, and it's fantastic. Dan does a great job of explaining everything and telling different interesting quotes from the times, and basically tying it all together about how it's affecting the world. It's something new. One of my coworkers had recommended it to me last week, so I decided to give it a shot, and it's slowly becoming one of my favorite podcasts.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of hardcore history, and I do think that the World War I episodes is a great place to start. Yeah, just a couple anecdotes I remember from those episodes was there's one point where there were, you know, he's reading a quote from somebody in a Belgian town, and they basically said, you know, they woke up in the morning and there were German troops marching by, you know, just an endless column of German troops marching by, and then they marched the entire day and then into the night, and the entire day everybody in front of his village was just a continuous movement of German troops, and just like such a different scene from today's day and age. And then the other one was when he talks about the expedition to the South Pole, and the guy comes back and he gets to Argentina, and he asks, like, you know, he's been out of the world for 9 months, and he's like, oh, what's happening in the world? And they basically tell him, like, Europe is totally on fire and just insane. Europe has gone insane. It's just he brings the war to life, and he does a really good job. Just like last week, we're going to end up with recommending a different podcast than our own to you.
And starting this week, if you go into our show notes, we'll have links to something relating to our 3 handles. So check that out if you want to, see the other podcasts or other beer people, and just make it a little easier to get their stuff out there.
Will our link for Obert's suggestion go to the big orange place we were talking about?
Absolutely not. It will go somewhere, all right, but it won't be orange.
It'll be yellow and Amazon colored.
All right. Well, that's the show for this week. I'm Tud.
I'm Obert.
And I'm Chris.
And thank you for listening to our podcast. Please follow us along on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow the email, dwafpodcast@gmail.com.
Nope.
Yep, DAWF.
Drinking with alone friends.
Drinking with alone friends.
Why do we name our podcast that?
This is why we have no followers. So follow us along, or follow along with us at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at DAWF Podcast. Follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Please feel free to send your questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them, and follow us along on Untapped again at DAWF Podcast.
Yeah, our mailbag's looking empty. We're looking for that first email from a fan. So send it in.
Yeah, if you're out there and you want to be the first email, just do it. dawfpodcast@gmail.com.
You know what? I will even give the first person who sends an email a prize.
Whoa, that's Tud saying that there. That's pretty big.
Yep.
Hey, so big news for the podcast, guys.
What's up?
Got word today that by the time this episode goes live, we will officially be available on Google Play. So
nice.
Finally, they dragged their feet for 2 weeks, but Google Play getting on board. They see the train a coming. It's coming around the bend, and they want to get part of this action. So a new place to look at us. Not just iTunes, not just Stitcher, not just
Podbean,
wherever else you find not just Podbean. Now Google Play. Pretty awesome stuff.
So make sure you also like, review us, give us a 5-star rating, tell us what you like, tell all your friends, family, tell your pastor at church, tell your grandmother, tell everybody.
Tell your grandma's pastor.
Grandma's pastor. Tell your dog, have the dog tell his friends.
Tell your pastor's grandma.
Pastor's grandma.
And of course, your pastor's grandma's pastor.
Yes.
How insulted would you be if your grandmother went to a different pastor, by the way?
This is like an
I know, grandson, you give such great sermons, but your church is just so far away.
Okay. All right.
All right, Ted, take us home.
Didn't I already do that?
No, you did it so bad.
No, we can't have Ted take us home. He's gotta follow up.
All right. So, thank you for joining us for today's podcast. Please follow us.
Wait.
No,
are you doing it again?
Do it again. All right. Remember, folks, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends. I'm Obert.
Oh, yeah, I get to.
Yay,
Hey, wait. I want to say it.
God, no, you don't get to say it.
Remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.